Hi guys! Today we're going to be talking about the Cinch gaming controller. The Cinch gaming controller. For those of you that don't know, Cinch is a professional esports custom made controller, and there are a lot of other companies out there that make custom made controllers that are supposed to be used for esports or people that want to competitively play, such as Scuff or Battle Beaver, and there's probably some more out there that I don't know the name of, but those are the other two more popular names that I know of. But the only difference with the controller that I have is I have back buttons. Now, when you think of a Scuff, they have paddles. These have buttons. If you're interested in ordering a controller like this, sadly, the last time that I checked, they do not have the front or the rear color anymore. But when I last ordered this in 2018, I believe, I ordered this in 2018. It's coming up 2 years that I've had this controller, which I'm going to give my opinion on shortly. They don't have, and that's the only modification other than the back buttons that I had, aside from the lack of rumble, which they don't put rumble in, meaning there's no vibration, and the remap chip that I have in my touchpad. So when you order it, the controller, you can ask for a remap chip. If you don't have one, you aren't able to change your back buttons. Why people get these controllers is so it's easier for you to play. By that I mean, when you play, your fingers are on the analog sticks. In order to press certain buttons, you have to take them off. The buttons on the back make it so that you don't have to take your thumbs off. So mine are programmed to circle and X, so usually jump and crouch. If I wanted to change that, all I can do is hold down on the touchpad and I'll be able to change it to whatever button so I choose. And when I say whatever button, you can make it whatever button that you so choose. Now they also have a 4-button option. What I wanted to start out with was a 2-button controller. If I were to order one again, which maybe sometime in the future I would consider, I would order a 4-button so I could have triangle and square on there as well. But the two main ones that I use are circle and X. I don't really mind having to take my thumb off for triangle or square. On to how I feel about the controller. When I first got it, it had a sticker on the touchpad as well as the back. If you're wondering why they're no longer on there, it's because I play with this controller so often. This is the only controller that I use now. I don't use a standard controller. If I use a standard PlayStation controller, I'll be pressing the back as if there's buttons on the back because I'm so used to it. I took them off because I played it so often that the stickers started to fade away, so I just took it off. It wasn't needed. It was just something that came with the controller when I got it ordered. It wasn't needed. I did like it, but it started to fade, so I took it off. The only problem that I had with this controller of the almost 2 years of having it is that at one point, if you listen, they're very loud, by the way. I was afraid of them getting stuck, which at one point they kind of did. It wasn't fully stuck, but it was sort of in there. I tried to pull it upward to see if that would help, and it somewhat did. I don't try and mess around with it really because they are movable. They do move around. They do move around. If you look closely, you're able to move it around, which I don't want to. I never have twisted it fully, and I don't want to. I don't want to. That is the only issue that I've had with this controller, is I've had the button get stuck a few times. That was during my first year, however. That was only like a few months that I've had that issue. Maybe it was because I was pressing the buttons too hard. I'm not too sure, but I do play with this controller pretty frequently. Keep in mind, I've never broken a controller. I didn't break this one. I've never broken any controller, so I'm glad that this held up well. I was a little skeptical about it considering the price range. I was putting a lot of money into this controller. I believe I bought this for $160, and this was just custom made, like front and rear shell, as well as the back buttons. What you can also do, if you go to their website, I'll put a link in the description, is you are able to send in one of your standard controllers and they can modify it for you for cheaper. I don't remember the price range, but it is a lot cheaper if you want to do that. Instead of getting a brand new controller that they got and modified, you can just send in your own, which is something that I recommend doing. I mean, the price is high. If you don't want to put that much into a brand new controller, obviously, and if you don't need a brand new controller, obviously that's something you would do, but I was like, I need a new controller anyway. Oh, there was another issue. I just remembered. I had one issue, thankfully I haven't had again, is that I had a headset. It was a Razer headset, and I thought the Razer headset had stopped working because I could hear all the static in it and everything. It wasn't the headset. It worked with the controller for a while, but then it just suddenly stopped. I thought the headset was the problem, but it wasn't. Thankfully, the headset that I have now, A10s, it works well. It hasn't had any issues with the controller, but it stopped working. I'm not sure why. I gave it to someone else and it worked fine for them. I'm not sure if there was an issue with the controller. I'm assuming, I don't know what was the issue, to be honest, whether it was the controller or the headset, but gave it away, got a new one. It's been working fine. Just thought I'd give you a heads up in case anything like that happens. Other than that, I've never had an issue with it. Money well spent, in my opinion. Would I get one again? Probably. Do I recommend you getting one? Yes. However, remember, I purchased this controller back in 2018. How their controllers have changed, I have no idea. But I hope you guys like this video. Hopefully I was able to give you some type of input, some type of help, some type of knowledge in making your decision on buying a Cinch controller. I'm not sponsored in any way. I remember that was a big issue with me trying to find a video on someone doing a review. Everyone was sponsored. They're like, oh, by the way, I'm sponsored. And I'm just like, you can trust people, but at the same time, how much they make with a sale of their affiliate code, I don't know, but I'm not sponsored. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.